What's going on? Smitty'Wit got a cool new series for you guys. Hope you guys like it. Let's begin. So the first lesson is to never give up on the submission that didn't work the first time. We're going to watch this guy on the bottom. He's going to remain on the bottom. He was getting dominated the entire match. And he attempts to do a buggy choke, okay? Now, the guy on the top does the correct thing the first attempt. You're going to see the guy on the top, he's going to take his left forearm and he's going to put it on the guy's throat. That is a reverse crossface. We're going to see it right here. He's stacking, putting all this man's weight on him. Let's see, when's he going to do it? He's going to do a reverse crossface. I think he's doing it right now. But there we go, there we go. Now it's a clear, watch this. You're going to see a clear angle at some point where he gets his forearm directly on this man's throat. So let me see. There it is right there. Now, when you do that against a buggy choke, that is how you get out, because they end up kind of choking themselves they have to cave themselves in. And if you put your forearm on their throat, that will make them cave in on themselves. Essentially basically choke themselves. So anywho, you're going to see this guy continue with great pressure, great control to continue to dominate the match, and they kind of go off the mat, and the ref is going to put them back in the middle. So then this guy at the bottom once again goes for this buggy choke. Now, I thought the guy on the top was going to do the exact thing that he did last time, but instead you need to have some urgency when you're in the buggy choke. Instead, he tries to hug the guy, which is actually not the correct thing to do. And as you can see, eventually this good man is going to tap. And this should be a lesson for you guys. Don't give up. You might still catch him. Now, the next lesson is head position when going for a takedown. So we see the guy going for a leg lock, and then as his opponent begins to go up, he begins reaching for his leg for a single leg takedown, but his head is on the outside of his opponent's hip, which results in him getting guillotined. And because this gentleman doesn't do any type of hand fighting, he ends up losing the match because of this. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by keep your head on the inside or his head is on the outside, this is another great example. We have a gentleman that's going in for a single leg takedown, and his head is basically where his belly button is. He doesn't put his head where the guy's hip is. Now, the guy's fighting, it's kind of a dog fight. He's trying to get his head to be on the outside of his hip so he can guillotine him. But this gentleman is doing a really good job. But then this is where he messes up. And I need you guys to be very mindful of this. You're going to see him try to go for a takedown, but his head pops up. See that? That's what I mean. Now his head is on the outside, and he falls down, and that's all she wrote. He gets submitted by that small little detail. So you have to be very mindful of where your head is at when you go for these single leg takedowns. Now, the next lesson is anything below the nose is a choke. So you're going to watch this gentleman do a nice throw by into a back take, which he ends up rear naked choking his opponent. You see his arm is completely under this guy's chin. This is a clean rear naked choke. Now, this is what we usually fight for, but here's a perfect example of a gentleman doing the same thing. He gets to a rear naked choke, but watch how this guy does it. He kind of like manhandles this man for it. He goes across the face. He's not under the chin. He's across the face, and then he just cranks his face. That is called a mandible strangle, and anything below the nose or on the nose, that is a choke. And yeah, hope you guys like that. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Take care.